What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including rumors surface that Chris Jericho was arrested in 2022, a popular WWE team reuniting on Raw, Hulk Hogan has angered wrestlers with this statement, Ryback says he can fix AEW's ratings, a WWE star's in-ring career is over, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new channel, Wrestlelamia Shorts. Now let's hit the intro and get straight into our first story. Our first story looks at rumors surfaced that Chris Jericho was arrested in 2022. Was Jericho arrested after a drunken incident? Well, wrestling legend Jim Cornette recently shared a story on his podcast about Chris Jericho allegedly having a run-in with the law in Belfast in 2022. Cornette claims he received a letter from a fan which stated, "A good friend who is a police officer in PSNI, the police service of Northern Ireland, contacted me and showed me body cam footage of a drunken, aggressive and flexing man in the corridor of a local hotel in Belfast. The man in question was Chris Jericho. Police were called after reports of loud music, aggression towards hotel staff, and general disturbing of the peace coming from the hotel room he was staying in, and my friend was one of the officers to respond." Cornette continued reading the letter, which read, "My friend recognized Jericho and attempted to talk him down and calm the situation. Jericho raised his arms and flexed to show his dominance to the officers and stated, 'Do you know who I am?' and similar phrases one would expect from an inebriated individual. He was then arrested by officers. I believe he was released when he sobered up a few hours later, but this tickled me to no end." Cornette's disdain for AEW is well known, and it's somewhat odd to take a fan's letter as evidence of an incident occurring. Without documentation such as body cam footage or an arrest report, the story had to be taken as a wild rumor. Interesting to be sure, but highly questionable. Next up, a popular WWE tag team reuniting on Raw. Now, there are more hints that WWE plans on reuniting a popular WWE team on Raw. Raw superstar Johnny Gargano has teased that he's bringing an old friend to join him and recently reunited NXT faction mates including Dexter Lumis, Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae. For Wrestling News, Paul Davis speculated on this last May, saying the Way got back together last week during a backstage segment, and Johnny Gargano stated that he's coming back soon. The he in question is Tommaso Ciampa, who's been out of action since last September. Ciampa underwent surgery to repair a torn hip labrum. Ciampa and Gargano formed the popular tag team DIY in NXT before they broke up and feuded. News source Best Wrestling Experience has been reporting that the WWE plans on reuniting the two. Now it appears a reunion could occur on the 17th June Raw, as Gargano tweeted, "You know what they say, there's no place like home." Now that the Usos appear out of the Tag Team Championship picture, a DIY reunion could freshen up the tag team division and lead to some exciting bouts as they campaign for the tag team title shot. Do you think they'll reunite? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Hulk Hogan angers wrestlers. Are today's wrestlers too small? Well, that's an issue Hulk Hogan addressed during an appearance on the Full Send podcast, noting what things were like when he broke into the business. It wasn't the WWE, it was a wrestling business. It was when I got in, man. When I walked in that dressing room, there were like 6 guys sitting there. They're all 300-pounders. I was a medium-sized guy and I weighed 300 plus. When I got in, if you wanted to be a wrestler, okay, there's the guy there. He's got 2 big cauliflower ears, his nose is broken, his teeth are knocked out, he's got 4 kids at home. The next guy over there was an NCAA champion. He's got a steel plate in his forearm. His name is Harley Race. Good luck with him. Then the other 2 guys, they look like serial killers, and if you wanted to be a wrestler, you got to take their job and take the food out of their family's mouth. Hogan isn't the first legend to discuss the differences between the not-so-good old days. As you may recall, an interview with The Undertaker talked about the rough atmosphere in the locker rooms when he broke into the business. But Hogan continued his take on things, saying, "That's the difference. Everybody I wrestle look like monster-sized men. Now there's a lot of guys that look like wrestlers. There's a lot of guys that don't. A lot of guys who look like wrestlers and a lot of guys who look like they should be bagging my groceries. So the difference is how athletic the guys are. Smaller guys can do all kinds of crazy stuff. To do so much stuff, so much impressive stuff in one match, I wouldn't do that much in a year. What does that mean?" The 2-time Hall of Famer also discussed how more protected wrestlers are in WWE and how there is a well-oiled machine at the Performance Center that caters to wrestlers' needs. He also brought up how the WWE no longer has to rely on one special attraction, and that is a multitude of wrestlers waiting to be called up in the event of injuries or other events that sideline active competitors. And with a career dating back to the 70s, stretching into the 21st century, Hulk Hogan has seen the evolution of the wrestling business and has some interesting insights on the differences between his heyday and today's era. What do you guys think of Hogan's comments? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, where's Elias? Where's WWE superstar Elias? Ringside News recently reported it reached out to WWE officials about the status of WWE's resident singer-songwriter, musician, and occasional wrestler. Now here's what Ringside News reports it found out. Elias hasn't been around in WWE for a while. We can confirm that the WWE creative team hasn't heard his name come up. No ideas are being openly pitched for Elias at this time. His current contract status is also unknown, and that goes for Ezekiel too. Do you think Elias's WWE career could be coming to a close, or is creative merely waiting for a new program to book him in? Next up, main roster team working on NXT. Another main roster act is working in NXT, in this case the team of Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo, aka Los Lotharios. Wrestling News reported on the 12th June NXT, during last night's broadcast, Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza made an appearance. They attacked Scripps and Exime after their win over Dabba-Kato in a 2 vs 1 handicap match. They were back out later in the show to cut a promo to announce that they are back in NXT to be in the tag division. What do you think of the influx of main roster players to the Black and Gold brand? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Ryback says he can fix AEW's ratings. Now, while Ryback's comments usually consist of rants against the WWE and or superstars he can't stand, this one has the big guy revealing he knows the secret to all elite wrestling overtaking the WWE. Ryback commented on social media, "This is where you need to empower talents and encourage all to grow their social media as much as possible. Talents plug their appearances in the weekly shows, and as they grow, the show will grow over time. I can increase ratings alone if my social media is fixed from WWE and Vince McMahon's illegal suppression of my accounts. They can be beating WWE by this time next year routinely." Now, this isn't Ryback's first hint that they would be a great addition to AEW's roster. While wrestling fans have seen plenty of shockers in the industry, AEW signing Ryback would be one of the biggest shockers since CM Punk signed with AEW. Given the enmity between Ryback and Punk, it's hard to believe AEW president Tony Khan would want to sign him. Next up, a former WWE superstar returning to the ring. It's good news for fans of the former WWE superstar Alicia Fox, as Booker T's promotion Reality of Wrestling recently tweeted news of Fox's comeback. Breaking news, Alicia Fox makes a return to the world of pro wrestling on Saturday, July 15th at the biggest event of the summer, Summer of Champions 9. Fox, a former Divas champion, was shocked when the WWE announced she'd retired from wrestling when she claims that wasn't her intention. She stated that she was training for an in-ring return, and it looks like that's about to happen. The question now is whether this is a one-off appearance or whether she intends to work on a regular basis, either in an established promotion or on the indie circuit. Whatever the case, we welcome Fox back. And finally, a WWE star in-ring career is over. And while Alicia Fox has returned to the ring, not every former superstar has that luxury. Tyson Kidd enjoyed tag team success in WWE until he suffered an in-ring accident during a match with Samoa Joe. It's been years since Kidd competed, as he now works as a WWE coach and producer, but fans still ask him when he's returning to the ring. But Kidd explained his situation during an appearance on Maguire on Wrestling. "Here's what I don't think people quite understand, but I wrestled close to exactly 20 years. I get where you see these things and think that it means I'm coming back, but the truth is, when you have something like that for such a long period of time, for me, wrestling was always a physical outlet. I feel like I needed to replace that physical outlet, and I upped my time and intensity in the gym a little bit." Fans have seen Kidd working out in the ring, which naturally led to speculation he's preparing for a comeback. Yeah, it's so funny, I answered this all the time and then people don't believe it, and I understand why. We've seen so many other people say that they're retired or whatever and they come back, and that's great, that's cool. It's not in the cards for me. I have a different injury than most people. In Kidd's case, his injury was so severe that he's lucky to be alive, let alone still walking. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.